Russell, hello. Hi, everyone. Russell, can you hear the guitar? Can you hear me? No. Oh, you can hear me, but not the guitar? Or yes. Do you hear that? A little bit, maybe not that much. It's probably coming through my mic a wee bit. Whose is this? That's Rabbi Morrison's Siddur. I will take this one. All right. I don't know if I'm on. I know I'm on, but I don't. Do you guys hear me through the mics? Let's see. Hello, hello. And what about the guitar? I could sing loudly. Even if there's no microphone. Now maybe you can hear me through the mics. I don't know. Russell says he can hear me, I think. Yeah? Yes, that means yes. Okay. All right, let's see. Where are we? We're going to begin with this opening song, Mikolot Ma'im Rabim. We're on page 23. But you could also, and it's 23, 6 lines up from the bottom of the Hebrew. I know, I had to find it myself. It took a little bit of time. So here we go. Ready, Russell? Can you hear us? 1, 2. Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adiri Mishpereyam Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adiri Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adiri Mishpereyam Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adiri Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom
Well together in harmony and peace and love. A special welcome to all of us who are streaming with us on this Shabbat. It's a delight to have you as you welcome Shabbat in your homes. We are in the midst of a very sacred time in the Jewish calendar as we head from Yom Kippur to the holiday of Sukkot, which will begin this Sunday night. These continue to be the days of holiness, the days of awe, and yet we have Shabbat, which we have as part of our sacred times and our sacred calendar every week, a chance to take a deep breath, a period of rest and reflection, and joining together with family and friends. So I invite everyone just to take a deep breath right now. Fill your lungs with Shabbat. And we're going to sing a song before we light our Shabbat candles to ask us to bring in the light.
Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights
of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. May you have a peaceful day. Shabbat Shalom.
Bring in the light of Shabbat. Light the lights of
Shabbat shalom. Time to take a big deep breath. Shabbat shalom. A special day for us to rest. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Lahadlik there, shel Shabbat. I do.
Lights of Shabbat on page 2 or 120. We invite forward Marilyn and Ron Schilling to lead us in our candles and our Kiddush.
Got it right in there.
I know.
Yeah.
Very.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
The words of Kiddush on page 5. Oh, you stay here. Lead it with us.
Together, ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho Be'ahava u'ratzon hilchilanu Zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit Ki hu yom tefillah le'mikra'e kodesh Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Ki banu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'veratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat.
Amen. Chaim.
That's good. I think it's good. Nice and sweet.
Next weekend, Micah Lerner and Hannah Lauritsen will become husband and wife under the chuppah, and they've taken a long journey to get there. They're both friends from high school, but they re-met many years later. And Micah is a child of this congregation, the son of Bob and Pam Lerner. I learned earlier too that we think Hannah's relatives were founding members of this congregation. And I hope you found the picture from your confirmation in those minutes between our meetings tonight. Anyway, I want to invite you both forward for a wedding blessing. And although I will be opening the ark, I invite you all to stay seated. Micah and Hannah, Kol Sason v'Kol Simcha, a voice of joy and a voice of gladness. We rejoice with you on this Shabbat as you prepare to enter the chuppah. May you know much joy and gladness throughout your years together, and strength of spirit for times of sorrow and hardship. We pray that your new home will be filled with delight, laughter, and unending devotion for each other. May you build a Jewish home based on ma'asim tovim, on acts of goodness, and may you be blessed with happiness, love, and peace. Yivarechem Adonai v'yishmerechem. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elechem v'chunechem. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elechem v'yasem lachem shalom. May God's presence support you and give you that great gift. The gift that can only come when two puzzle pieces find one another and fit so perfectly. That gift of shleimut, the gift of wholeness, and of course the gift of shalom, the gift of peace. Congratulations.
All right, I think as you guys are closing the ark, here we go. Rabbi Morrison, I have a feeling that puzzle thing was an inside joke. Am I right about that? All right. I picked it up. Yes. I think other people might have as well. So puzzle pieces coming together. I like that. So the words of Lecha Dodi, we welcome another bride. This time we welcome the Sabbath bride. On page 20 or 138, we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And we'll stand for the last one, yeah?
Shema
shalom, ateret bala, kam besimcha, uvetzola, toch emunei, am segula.
To worship, the words of the Baruch Hu, page 28 or 146. Nighttime prayer is called Mariv Aravim. We'll sing a modern interpretation of it. Roll into dark, roll into light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Forever. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Invite forward Noah and Benjamin to lead us in the words of the Via Hafta, which is on page 36 or 154. Right here. 1, 2, 3.
Ve'ahavta et
Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'betecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shoftecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot aledecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha uv'tatam amizuzot beitecha uvishareha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'etem kedoshim l'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem
Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים.
אני Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
Join me on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, our Song of Redemption.
No כיפת אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Hashkivenu, page 42 or 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, ve'hamidenu
Tefillah begins on page 46 or 164, and I invite you to rise if you are able. Page 48 or 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaya kol atah rav lehoshia. Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gevurot, o mido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, vene'eman atal hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, kadoshim b'chol yom, yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We continue privately through page 64. And when you have completed your prayer, please be seated.
Page 60. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom.
Our Torah portion. Our Torah portion is, can you hear me? All right. Our Torah portion is called Ha'azinu. It means to give ear. It has within it that word ear, ozen. It also means, of course, to pay attention to hear, to listen, to pay heed to. And in these moments, we... Table mic, okay. In these moments, we pay attention, we give heed, and we direct our compassion towards those in our community who are ill and in need of healing on this Shabbat. Yolanda Asusena, Shira Azadi, Sherry Dietz Bansfield, Efrat Blatt, Susan Carlson, Aaron Dietz, Efrat Dror, Mary Lou Garfinkel, Selena Glader, Kenny Glickman, Kathy Grossi, Faith Gobedy, David Hardy, Moritz Huppert, Marvin Jones, Andreas Judas, Bernie Marcus, Edwin Merlos, Harold Muckamal, Dmitry Nashenko, Eva Norman, Sophia Pye-Lisbon, Rabbi Lori Phillips, Peggy Pizzo, Yaakov Ben-Sarah, Donald Schilling, Stephen Avraham Simon, David Baruch Ben Simona, Eloise Stiglitz, Manya Bat Tsivia, Kate Van Zenten, Len Williams, and Jennifer Wolfeld. Are there any other names? We join together and offer this prayer for the healing of all.
Healer of the broken-hearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who they are. Haropeli shvurei lev, umechapeish le'atzvotam, onem yispar la'kochavim, lechulam shemot yikra. Healer of the broken-hearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who we are.
We continue now on page 282 with Aleinu, and I invite you to rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יראה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated.
Tomorrow, tomorrow morning, we will read the passage from the book of Deuteronomy that discusses the death of Moses. It's at the very end of the Torah, right before the Israelites cross into the promised land. The Torah reads, "That very day Adonai spoke to Moses, ascend these heights of Abarim to Mount Nebo, which is the land of Moab facing Jericho, and view the land of Canaan, which I am giving the Israelites as their holding. You shall die on the mountain that you are about to ascend, and shall be gathered to your kin, as your brother Aaron died on Mount Hor, and was gathered to his kin." The Hebrew word for eulogy is chesped, and according to the Talmud, a chesped is a way to honor the departed and comfort the bereaved. In the Bible, a chesped is more of an act of lament and memory than a formal eulogy. Many biblical figures, including Sarah and Jacob and Saul and Jonathan, receive chesped in the Bible. It's not till later on where chesped turns into what we think of as a eulogy, a tribute to the deceased today. Earlier this week on Yom Kippur, we read the haunting prayer Unatana Tokef, which is our prayer of judgment. We probably know the lines by heart. Who shall live and who shall die? Who by water and who by fire? As we are still in the dates of awe and reflecting on our new year, and there's a tradition that the gates actually don't close until the end of Sukkot. I wanted to take this time, as we often do on the high holidays, to reflect on a few Jews who passed away in 5782. The Jewish comedy world last year lost both Bob Saget and Gilbert Gottfried, two of the filthiest, raunchiest comics around, but both known in their personal lives as kind and compassionate men. Saget and Gottfried each had deep connections to Judaism and the Jewish people. Gottfried was married to his wife under a chuppah in 2007, and his daughter had a Zoom bat mitzvah in April of 2020. Bob Saget had a 30-plus year relationship with his rabbi, Stephen Carr Rubin. Rabbi Rubin's chesped of Saget said that he was a sweet and loving soul who saw his role as a comic as a healer. Bob Saget said himself, When tragedy strikes, it's more important than ever to look for anything that can bring humor and joy to every moment. The literature world lost A.B. Yehoshua, the Israeli Faulkner, earlier this summer. He was quick-witted and unafraid to be shockingly controversial. A.B. Yehoshua wrote and spoke of the central issues and topics facing modern Israel, from the demise of the two-state solution, his dismay of the lionization of the Western Wall, and his disdain for Israeli settlements, and his disregard for diaspora Judaism. Earlier this summer, Israeli President Isaac Herzog called him one of Israel's greatest authors in all generations, who gifted us unforgettable works which we will continue to accompany us for generations. His works, which drew inspiration from our nation's treasures, reflected us in an accurate, sharp, loving, and sometimes painful mirror image. He aroused in us a mosaic of deep emotions. Mimi Reinhard died this last year outside of Tel Aviv at the age of 107. Reinhard was imprisoned at the Plaszow concentration camp near Krakow when she was chosen, due to her excellent German and shorthand skills, to work as a secretary instead of being sent to perform hard labor. That assignment ended up saving her life when she went on to type up the list of Jews to be saved by Oskar Schindler, the German industrialist who was later called righteous among the Gentiles for his efforts to save the nearly 1,200 Jews who worked for him. When Reinhard typed up that list, her own name would be one of the names on it. Estelle Harris died last year at the age of 93. She was born in 1928 in New York as the daughter of Polish immigrants who owned a candy store in Manhattan. A talented actor, she became most famous by playing another Estelle, this time Estelle Costanza on Seinfeld. Jason Alexander remembered his TV mom by saying, "One of my favorite people have passed, my TV mama, Estelle Harris. The joy of playing with her and relishing her glorious laughter was a treat. I adore you, Estelle." Tyler Herron, a native of West Palm Beach, Florida, died way too young last year at the age of 35 in October. A career minor league pitcher, Herron joined the Israeli national baseball team and appeared 3 times in the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Despite being ranked outside of the top 40, Israel finished 6th in the WBC. Herron called pitching for Israel the best experience I've ever had in baseball. The jewelry icon Helene Fortunoff died last November in Miami. A trailblazer, she excelled in a world dominated by men. She said, "I always wanted a family and a career, and no one ever told me I couldn't have both," she said. "I generally allowed myself 11 days off for the birth of my children. I had a staff to manage things at home while I worked full-time at the store." Later in life, she became a significant donor to Jewish causes, including creating the endowment for the Fortunoff Video Archive for the Holocaust testimonies at Yale University. This past summer, Stephen Sondheim, the premier American lyricist, died at 91. Born to Jewish parents in New York City, but raised without any formal Jewish background, to the extent that he once asked Leonard Bernstein how to pronounce the words Yom Kippur. Along with Bernstein, he wrote West Side Story at the age of 25, writing, "There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open, wait for us somewhere." Rabbi Israel Sy Dressner passed away this past January, a friend of Dr. Martin Luther King. In 1961, as part of the first interfaith clergy freedom rides to the South, Rabbi Dressner of Wayne, New Jersey, and 9 others, known as the Tallahassee 10, were charged with unlawful assembly in trying to integrate an airport restaurant in Tallahassee. In 1964, he led 16 fellow clergymen, including other rabbis, in a protest outside a segregated motel in St. Augustine, Florida. During the demonstration, 5 black protesters plunged into the whites-only swimming pool and were clubbed by the police. Rabbi Dressner said, "We came as Jews who remembered the millions of faceless people who stood quietly watching the smoke rise from Hitler's crematoria. We came because we know that second only to silence, the greatest danger to man is loss of faith in man's capacity to act." As our service this Shabbat turns to another mourner's Kaddish, we remember our own friends and family who passed away this past year and in years past. Certainly the holidays leave us with people we're missing, phone calls we used to make, or breakfasts we used to share with others. Whether their names are spoken out loud like these we did tonight, or they're just in our hearts, we remember them. May their memories always be for a blessing. If I read the name of your loved one who's passed away, I invite you to rise in his or her honor. Then we'll rise as one to say words of Kaddish together. Lost to our Beth Am community this week was Shelley Brown, mother of our member Joel, and Lorraine Brown, grandmother of our members Ben, Emily, and Katie Brown. In this period of Shloshim, we remember Ralph Arnheim, Edith Yanklowitz, Rhoda Peck, Kenny Kramer, Carmela Millie Pizzello Herbert, Shirley Lang, and Carol Dondick. And in this period of Yardside, the anniversary since death, we remember with love Ida Abrams, Edwin Alderman, Esther Miriam Elwitz, Philip Anfang, Jane Skloven Aptekar, Molly Barkoff, Jacob Barkoff, Mildred Berend, Jonas Bessler, Marjorie Bessler, Regine Beer, Dodek Borokov, May Briskin, Mildred Check, Varda Dayam, Joanne Dixon, Milton Fetterman, Arnold Fail, Galdis Finkel, Stanley Goldbaum, Dorothy Goodman, Annette Gordon, Matthew Gorin, Evelyn Greenberg, Willie Haberly, Mary Heller, Irvin Jacobs, Elsie Kamer, Minnie Kaufman, Flora Kaufman, Isabel Fisher Kaufman, Paula Kellerman, Sidney Klein, William Kleinfeld, Michael Copy, Samuel Benjamin Kurland, Abram Levin, Jerry Levy, Sadoko Mahera, Edna Mayorotto, Alan Mendelson, Mira Nyes, Jennifer Pestime, Elsie Raskin, Jean Robin, Mel Robin, Judith Rosner, Solomon Rotweim, Guido Lea Sadoff, Dorothy Saracen, Sarah Schieber, Ruth Stradowski, Rose Schreier, Robert Schwartz, Dr. Philip Chaim Caesar, Sidney Serbrenny, Ruth Singer, Samuel Stadlin, Edith Stadlin, Milton Stern, Dr. Judith Steiber, Max Sussman, Laura Sussman, Harry Sussman, Edward Tegg, Isolde Weimer, Jeremy Walters, Dorothy Weber, Yael Yagudveva, Tova Yehudadeva, and Ann Zalewski. If you're thinking of someone else whose name I didn't read, I invite you to rise and share their name out loud. Kaddish Yatom, page 294. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divara kirute be'amlich malchute, be'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv b'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulmei almaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekusha brichu. Ve'ela min kol berchata b'shirata. Tush bechata b'nechemata, da'amiram b'ama b'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. B'chaim aleinu b'al kol Yisrael b'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mnomaf. Hu yasei shalom aleinu b'al kol Yisrael b'imru amen. May the Holy One who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
The month of October, we're collecting tzedakah for a really important local organization, the Climate Resilience Communities, CRC, which is a community-based organization dedicated to serving underrepresented communities through empowering their voices to implement climate solutions that bring about resilience and unity. They do things like provide air purifiers to low-income families, to help prevent or to help protect against wildfire smoke and air pollution. And they are a local organization, mostly working in the Bellhaven neighborhood of Menlo Park in East Palo Alto. That's part of our partnership with our amazing Dayenu Circle, our community group fighting climate change. So I ask you to be as generous as possible. If you're streaming, you can donate on the Beth Am webpage, or you can Venmo Beth-Am. If you're here in person, you could do either of those as well, or there's a tzedakah box for checks or cash in the back. During these high holidays, we ask you to be as generous as possible to our tzedakah commitment. Turn to page 353. You might not even need to. You might know the words. Our eternal song for peace and for hope. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
And join with us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.